Okay, our fellow listeners, we are back with the lady of the moment, Lovely, who is on the lines with us as we speak. So, Lovely, do you want to say hello to the listeners out there?
Hello, how is everyone doing?
Awesome. Glad to have you with us on the lines today, Lovely. And so, guys, we're going to do a quick breakdown about Lovely. So, she's a rising artist with one main goal in mind, which is to help people. Lovely has quickly gained recognition in the music industry despite a relatively short career, hitting milestones such as 15K streams for her song called Hopeless Romantic Views within the first few months of release. She has multiple songs that are climbing in numbers by the day. Music has been her dream and biggest goal in life. Playing multiple instruments and having a background in dancing makes her quite a performer. So, categorized as a pop singer, she does not shy away from sorry guys, not shy away from pushing the bounds of that label. Her musical style spans various forms of pop, including country pop, trap pop, Latin pop, and rock pop. So, once again, thank you for joining us on the lines today, Lovely. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
Awesome. Okay, so looking at musical journey and inspiration, Lovely, you've gained recognition in such a short time. What first inspired you to start making music?
I think the very cliche answer is that music was something that spoke to me, and it always felt like the voice that I needed when wasn't confident enough to talk to someone else or something. Then music was always that kind voice in my ear on the way to school or on the way back from school, just encouraging me and giving me a little bit of hope. And essentially, that became my dream. It was to then give other people hope through being that little voice in their ear when they need it. So that really inspired me to, stick through the pain and, try to connect to people.
Oh, that's awesome. So you play multiple instruments and have a background in dancing. How do these skills influence your performance and songwriting?
I must say, I think having those, throughout my youth and throughout me growing up, having those moments where I had to be on stage and had to perform and learn how to do that. It definitely gave me more confidence. Everyone in primary school has stage fright, I had to overcome that over time. And I think it all just ties in and makes me more relatable to people and to give them something that they enjoy watching and enjoy engaging with.
Yeah.
And obviously it just adds to the skill, and because they all tie in with the music industry, it makes it a lot easier to be a performer on stage.
Great stuff. So your music crosses different styles of pop, country, trap, Latin, rock. How do you decide which direction to take with each song?
I think it depends on what emotion I'm trying to encapsulate in that song. So if I'm looking more for like a love kind of song, I'd look more into indie pop or country pop or something like that, because
Yeah.
generally those kind of styles are around those topics. So I think it really depends on the the message behind the song. If it's more sad, then I'll go for a more darker pop or something like that. So I think it really depends on the message and how to properly convey that through the music and not just the lyrics.
Awesome. So mental health is a big part of your message. Why is it so important for you to connect music with mental health awareness?
I think because of mental health, the conversation has become such almost like a brand thing. It's something that everyone talks about. It doesn't really carry the weight that it should. Like, it is something that needs attention, not just something that needs to be spoken about and turned into a joke. So I think I think in trying to be more open about having the conversation about mental health, we've kind of missed the mark and made it something that we talk about too often and then lose the actual weight of it. So it's something that I've struggled with, and therefore I want to talk about the hard things in a way that isn't undermining to people who do struggle with mental health, and is more uplifting and more educational in the fact of like, people have gone through these things. It's not just stuff that happens in the movies, but it is actually real life matters that haunt people or traumatize people, and really just bring light to that, as well as also bring hope to the people who are struggling with those things.
Awesome stuff. So going into your song release called Broke Me, which you released on the 28th of March this year. By the way, congratulations on the single. Can you tell us the story?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Can you tell us the story behind that song?
So Broke Me is really just the essence of all the emotions you feel when you've had your first breakup. I think Broke Me is so special to me because everyone's first breakup is so much worse than any other breakup, mainly because
True.
you don't have the coping mechanisms, you don't know what to expect, you don't know how you're supposed to react. So Broke Me really, I mean, I wrote it right after I had my first breakup, and I was crying, and I was just, all of that was just raw emotion. And afterwards, I was like, I'm not actually going to change any of this, because it is just that raw emotion. It is the true hurt. So yeah, I think it's such an amazing song because so many people can relate to it, because everyone's had that bad breakup, and the first one's always the worst.
True. And so the track blends dark pop rock elements with emotional lyrics. What inspired this sound and style?
I think mainly because I wanted to have it be a very moving song, not just in lyrics but in the instruments as well. But I also didn't want the song to be too sad and too somber. I wanted it to be something that you can listen to. If you want to scream it off your balcony, you can do that, but if you want to cry into your pillow, you can also do that. So I wanted to balance it and have it be something that you don't necessarily have to cry to, but if you do need to, you can. And I think that dark pop and stuff really just helped with that, sort of environment for the listener.
Great stuff. So you described the song as being about heartbreak and inner turmoil. Was writing it a healing process for you?
Oh, for sure. It definitely was. As I said, I wrote it right after I experienced my first breakup, and it really put things into perspective, not only because I could release that emotion, but because I also realized things that had happened in the relationship that I probably shouldn't have looked past, but I did. When you're all infatuated and in love and whatever, you tend to look past some of the red flags, as people would say. So, no, it definitely helped me get through that, and feel like, you know, even if I didn't say it to someone, I at least said it to the page. So, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so the chorus expresses both pain and longing. What message do you hope listeners take away from it?
I definitely want listeners to know that, you know, someone might have really, really hurt you, but ultimately everything is a learning curve. You might have gotten your heart shattered into 1,000 pieces, but at least you learned that, you know, maybe they're not the person for you, or some things that they did aren't stuff you're looking for. So definitely, and also ultimately that you're not the only one that's feeling that way. I think with your first breakup, you think like you're just over dramatic or whatever, but it is truly difficult for every single individual that goes through it, and just to know that they're not alone in that there are people that have gone through it, and there are people who can help you go through it, if it's a song, if it's a mentor, anything, that, you know, it's not the end of the world as much as it does feel like it. It is something that you can learn from and grow from.
It's tough. So how was the creative process for Broke Me different from your previous releases?
I think mainly because it was such a raw song. It was so, it was just like true emotion. And I think it was different because it felt the most vulnerable. Then other songs you don't necessarily have to go so deep, and I didn't really. But this one was really like, this is the truth. This is exactly how I was feeling. So I think it was different in the sense of I didn't want to like overshare in a way, but I also wanted to share what I had felt. So I think it's just figuring out the balance between those two definitely made it a lot more intricate, but also a nicer experience because I felt like I was actually truly speaking my mind.
Great stuff. So, do you see yourself exploring more of these darker pop rock sounds in the future?
In the future, possibly, after another heartbreak, maybe. But at the moment, for the soon future, I think we're going a lot more lighthearted and a lot more positive. So maybe for a while we'll stray away from the dark pop, but I think I'll be there in the future. I definitely do.
Awesome. Okay, so looking ahead, you're still in matric but already building an impressive career. How do you balance school with music?
I must say it was quite a learning curve in the beginning, but I think I've pretty much got the hang of it now. It's kind of like I'm a student and a normal person at school, and then when I go home, I'm a musician and artist, obviously, for the homework element. But no, it is definitely a thing to try not have too much attention and stuff for my music in the corridors because, at school I kind of want to be a normal kid. Just balancing that, and also I learned a lot about prioritizing things. So being like, okay, I don't have to film every single day. Like, I can take an off day, and I don't have to work myself to death just for, I don't know, social media or streams or whatever. And one of the main things is I learned not to fixate on numbers, because in the beginning I used to like check how many streams I had like all the time, and eventually it got toxic, and I had to be like, you know what? Just leave it. It will run. It will do its thing, and you can check later or over a few days. So I definitely had to learn that and balance what is important versus what is not so important.
And it takes time to build to what you want it to be too. So it's a process,
Yes, for sure.
Awesome. Okay, so what can your fans look forward to from you in the coming months?
Yeah, so actually after Broke Me, I already have another single out called Mess of It All. And then, I got another song now coming end of August in a week's time. To be coming out. It's called Chapter 9, and essentially that's the end of all the sad, somber first heartbreak songs. And then, there's still another song after that, just the end of the year before I write finals for matric. And then, in my holiday I'll probably be back with lots of content and everything like that. So they can definitely look forward to that and the new music coming.
Cool stuff. So, outside of music, you also love photography, art, and poetry. Do you see yourself merging these creative passions with your music someday?
I definitely do, and I think because all of them are so connected to the industry itself, as they are, they definitely come in handy when it comes to making content or writing songs or doing the cover arts for my songs. So they definitely do merge and will merge more throughout the future. Although I do need to find a hobby that's like separate from music, because obviously as it becomes your career, it becomes not as fun. Obviously you still love it, but still got to find that other outlet that isn't totally connected to music.
True. Well, that's really awesome stuff, Lovely, and we've come to the end of our questions as well. But before you go, is there anything else you'd maybe like to add? Maybe a shout out to any of your fans that are listening in at the moment?
I just want to say thank you to everyone who has supported me throughout the past few years. Going from a kid that no one believed in to someone who's actually released a lot of music. It's only possible with support and stuff, so thank you to everyone who has consistently listened to my music.
Really great stuff. And thank you once again, Lovely, for being with us on the lines today. And also to the listeners, thank you as well for tuning into this awesome interview session that we just had with Lovely. And we still have her song, which you're going to be playing in right about now, which is called Broke Me. We spoke about it shortly as well. So stay tuned for that coming up, and still more hits that are to come as well.
The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
This is South Coast Radio.